We will be discussing developing a BIP based on the FBA in this particular slide. So the FBA provides data to support a well-written BIP. Thus, data collection during the FBA process needs to be observable, objective, measurable, specific, and succinct. It must be written in terms that other team members involved can verify. If the student is disruptive in the classroom, the data on the FBA should identify the behavior specifically. For instance, the term disruptive is broad, so the observer should write the specific disruptive behavior, walking around the classroom and talking to peers. This description provides a foundation for developing effective interventions during the BIP process. Similarly, the competing pathway is the link between the FBA and the BIP. Competing behaviors are mutually exclusive. A student cannot participate in two behaviors that compete against each other. For instance, a student cannot stand and sit at the same time, or be quiet and talk at the same time. So the objective is to clearly define the competing pathway so that the proper intervention can be selected to combat the antecedents and a FERB can be successfully taught. FERB stands for Functionally Equivalent Replacement Behavior. The initial step is to identify the setting events, which is known as the immediate antecedent affecting the likelihood of the problem behavior. So whatever is going on just before the antecedent or the problem behavior presents itself is called the setting event. Following that is the antecedent, which is known as the immediate event that triggers the problem behavior. Following that is the target behavior. And then ending is the FERB, which is the functionally equivalent replacement behavior. So the FERB should serve the same function as the target behavior. For example, if a student is getting out of their seat during individual working sessions in a science class, and it has been determined during the FBA process, that the student does not fully understand the science lessons, which would be the setting event, and because he or she does not understand the science lesson, he gets up out of his seat each time individual working sessions are announced by the teacher. And he gets up out of his seat to get the attention of the teacher so that she will come and help him. So the FERB that should be taught should be something where he can get the teacher's attention without disrupting the entire class. So the FERB that the student should be taught when he needs help during IWS should be maybe he could raise a yellow card to let the teacher know that he needs help. By doing so, he doesn't disrupt his peers and he still gets the attention that he's seeking by getting up out of his seat. When the student correctly uses the FERB, there should be positive reinforcement or positive consequences. That can come in the form of praise, extra time on the iPad, a token system, whatever the teacher has identified that is productive and effective for that student. Those positive things should be used to reinforce the FERB. So the goal is to teach the student a functionally equivalent behavior, or a FERB, that will hopefully eliminate the problem behavior altogether. Overall, a well-written FBA is the foundation for developing an effective BIP with interventions that will help the student close the achievement gap and become successful.